You can call in Discord. He's like, but I can do Google Hangouts too. Whatever.
Exactly.
I was like, all right, so
we'll get them on there.
Yeah. I was like, that's okay. So John Wick 3, the R&B thing, the Doom Patrol. What was the other one? Are you happy with?
Yeah, happy where you are, and the level of where you are. Okay.
I'm quite comfortable here.
You forgot one more thing.
Oh shit!
No, fuck with you.
I'm about to say we're not on though.
But are we?
We're not. Well, we're on here.
Yes,
but we're not on here.
It's all good. We're here, and that's all that matters. Just hit record.
Yeah,
we're
right.
here. All right.
You caught me so off guard.
Of course,
I know that's what
whole
I'm supposed to do.
point. That's what you
Oh my god.
So.
I'll start it.
No.
You started.
I'll start.
Well, no, I mean he already
Yeah.
started.
So now that we realize who started. Hey, how you doing? Welcome back. True story, bro. Your boy, Reggie Sendu. Yeah, Sir Wednesday. Here for another awesome show. As this motherfucker knows.
Yeah.
So because he's a motherfucker, I'm gonna toss it to him. My homie right here.
Oh, okay, we started. All right, so
Yeah,
yeah,
this guy.
we're not in my house. We're actually in a new studio.
Yeah.
Yay.
Thanks, Platinum Art.
Yes.
For that.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Platinum Art Studios.
Yes, Super Dave.
Super dude.
I'm here in this new studio. I'm here Roundhouse,
God damn it.
and to my right.
This guy takes forever.
Yeah.
Fucking saying shit.
I love it how sometimes you go right into it. Other times you like the car that won't start in the horror movie. You're like, oh, he's right there. This nigga's gonna kill us right here. Like,
Yeah.
I'm Roundhouse. And then he'll just run away like,
I am.
just like you know.
I'm that gun that be like, why is it firing? And then you hit it on something and it just fires and it kills the dude.
He's
That's
that gun from John Wick. You run out of bullets and he just throws it at somebody.
Sometimes you just
Smacks
have
him
to.
in the head.
It's metal. It'll hurt somebody.
That's
Yeah.
true.
Oh,
yeah.
But I'm the ninja that kicking it with you. Echo Ninja. Going with the echoes.
Yeah.
Over to the royalty of all.
I am Black Caesar and I am very happy to be here.
Very happy to be here.
Okay.
All right, so here we are. It's funny that you mentioned John Wick, because even though we talked about it previous episodes, being our boy Shazam, aka the coolest Kool-Aid man ever. Shazam! You want some drink? We went to go see John Wick, Parabellum, just like you guys did, and we watched it, and action was good.
That
At some
book
point,
scene,
yeah, the book scene was pretty. Yeah, no.
Of course, it's the greatest way to open that movie. How he just destroyed.
Greatest way to open his
Perfect,
jaw.
man.
He told that nigga to read.
How he
It was
just
fundamental.
like he destroyed his whole life with that book. He gave him knowledge beyond knowledge.
He was like,
Yeah.
I still got 20 minutes. He was like,
He just,
yeah.
Who's gonna know? He's like, are you sure you want to do this?
Yeah, come on,
He's
dog,
like, it's
don't do this,
14
man.
million, John. I'm like,
He's like, is it worth your life?
I can count, nigga.
this is the most time I squeeze in the library.
Oh my god! But as great as it was missing something from what the first two had. And I know a lot of the first two was basically handheld, in your face, moving. They had like a lot more jibs and cranes and stuff to get certain movements. Of course, if you're doing a fucking
sequel.
it's not even a sequel. If you're doing a scene with like bikes and shit like that, you need something like that in order to get to go.
Sure.
But at the same time, there was something missing about it that wasn't something that was captured in the first and the second one. As much as I enjoyed the film, I haven't said it much on the podcast, but he knows what I'm gonna say. Thoroughly unimpressed.
Really?
Yes.
Really? No kidding.
I expected more from that. There was other shit that I saw this year that I expected exactly what I expected.
Right.
And it was garbage train.
Okay.
But the movie was good. I'm not gonna say anything. It's John Wick.
Yeah.
But I understand when they first said it, and they're like, "Yeah, the movie was good. Can y'all make a sequel?" They were kind of unsure if they could recapture it. They did it. They should have cut their losses, in my opinion, or at least waited a little bit longer.
I feel.
Hold on. Because I saw the movie with you.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, you did. You were there.
I see your point when it comes to the whole. When I talked to you about this too,
Yeah,
like I see your point. I was like, there was something missing from, like the second one to the third one. I felt there was something missing too a little bit. I still couldn't figure it out, and I was like, was it not that much hand to hand? And it was like, no, that wasn't it.
Let's hand to hand like a motherfucker.
It was hand to hand like a motherfucker. So I was like, was it not enough shooting? No, there was a lot of
Of course,
shooting.
it's John Wick.
But I was like,
shot.
then what was it though? Like what was it that was actually missing? I still can't figure it out.
I'll tell you right now. It was the way it was shot.
It was certain parts of the cinematography in the third one. Because see, in the first two, it was very claustrophobic. So it made it so immersed that you were in it with him. And this one is wider because they're spreading the universe more, the John Wick universe even more. So they made it way bigger. They're showing more of New York City, and then you go to Casablanca, so you see all this open space, and you're like, okay.
Ooh.
Oh, I see what you're talking about. Like, because in the first one, it was very like
It was contained.
It was like,
Very
oh
close
look,
quarters.
he lives in Long Island or something like that. Now he's in
No, he's in
Manhattan.
Jersey.
It didn't look like it.
Yeah, Jersey plates.
Not no part of New Jersey.
I know, right?
Yeah. I mean, the place man in Jersey, but that motherfucker like he lived in Long Island because that nigga walked across the Brooklyn.
But
Bridge.
basically, that's not so. It's like, I actually watched something on YouTube about a person talking about how yes, it's so unrealistic to walk on the Brooklyn Bridge to New York City from Jersey. He's like, but that's not the point that they're trying to make. They were trying to make basically John Wick is in its own type of like surreal universe.
It's real, but it ain't real.
Right.
Yeah, I get it.
Like, especially at the end of the second one, like everyone's a damn assassin in that scene. Like, really?
You mean at the park because they saw
That's what I
him
mean.
when he was in the park and it was just like
At the end of
I called in a favor and they just all dispersed. You're like, I actually waited in the second one. I was like, I want to see if there's a baby there. If they
You are stupid.
Can you imagine if there was a little
John, I'm
five?
in there, nigga.
Can you imagine if it was like not even a baby, but dude that was like a small person,
Like a midget.
Yeah, that was actually an assassin. Think about it. It's not like they haven't done that shit before in movies.
True.
Not true.
But I mean, hell, get Peter Dinklage.
But you know that motherfucker. You can't confuse him with a kid.
Right?
You right.
He's like, you trying to get Tyrion Lannister to assassinate me? You son of a bitch.
But also,
Kill and everything.
but also when we saw it, I feel also not just the pieces of the cinematography. I feel the story was a bit weak, just a bit, because it wasn't enough.
Or just the whole thing.
The whole thing.
The whole
What?
thing?
You
What
talk about the
part?
whole thing.
Or what part
story.
or the whole thing?
No, the whole
Story.
part of the third story.
Yeah.
It's because, I mean, I'm sure even the writers and the directors thought, shit, what do we have left? Well, how do we end it? It's pretty much Running Man. This guy's pretty much, he's just kind of, it's like Escape from New York type thing.
Exactly.
This is pretty much the whole story.
If it was Running Man, we'd have a great one-liners.
Yeah,
That's true, true. But
Sub-Zero just played Zero.
but no, it was more like I said, Escape from New York, and that's how they basically played this movie. It was just him escaping to safety, but there's not really any safety in
Not
this
at all.
surreal universe.
Yeah, because I'm glad you brought that up because, I mean, in this world, I mean, I started to realize, like, there's really no kind of order. Like, I mean, in other words, like, you know, I mean, I'm sure you've already noticed that there's, like, the law enforcement, I think even they're, like, fucked up as well. I mean, everyone is corrupt,
But,
pretty much.
And it's funny that you mentioned that, too.
Yeah.
The high table pays off the law enforcement. I was reading this shit somewhere.
Yeah, they do.
Like they pay off politicians.
Oh yeah.
It's like it's such a surreal world where, pretty much almost everybody's an assassin, but it's also kind of real because this is basically saying criminals are paying off top public officials. Law enforcement. It's kind of like how the real world is.
Well, here's the thing about it though. It's not like only. I wouldn't say the criminals. I would say just the main people that are part of the assassins. I want to call it guild or whatever case may be.
No, but
anybody that's part of that high table can pay off the cops. Yes, but also too, if you remember in the first movie, the cop dude, right?
Yeah.
From News, I remember him because he was in
Newsroom.
Newsroom.
Yeah.
Right? And he was like, "Hey, John, you working
again?
You working again?" He's like, "No." He was like, "Are you okay? Like, what are you gonna do?" "No, I'm gonna get my car." And he was like, "All right." And then when he's walking, he was only thing he said was, "Oh shit."
The second one was so funny. He was like, "Working again?" He was like, "Yeah," and then walked away. He was like, shit.
That means cops stay away.
But when you know that, when he knows that John Wick is working, he automatically pretty much knew exactly.
I tell that I didn't.
Of course.
But the directors did confirm that the high table are criminals. They're crime lords.
Of course.
From different sectors of different
areas of the world.
We saw in the second one. Well, you saw what's her name? He was really like his father was the main dude until his sister took over. Because they didn't really touch. I think they did touch on it. Why his sister
they were
was
part of the Italian mob.
Right.
Yeah.
I think they touched on it a little bit how his sister became in charge instead of him because I think he was. Well, obviously he's a pussy, but
she was more level headed.
Right, and notice how she was level headed, and she had a ways of like doing stuff too because she was trained by Common, right? But the thing about that shit is she knew exactly if John was coming for her, she's not even gonna fight him.
No. She knew it was a losing battle. Right. The second he showed up, she knew that her time was up.
Right. But it's also the thing of the dude, the Italian dude, is the one who had John's mark. Right. That was the other thing. So she already knew. She was like, "I know my brother sent you to kill me." Right.
And bitch ass nigga.
Also too, like the fact of
that's a bitch move, man.
But
that's
it was
a bitch move.
But it's also too is the fact of like how long John was working for that family. So she already knew who John was off the bat. We don't know how long he was working with that family for how many things that they wanted him to do. We don't know. Probably from his father.
The third movie actually hints at what faction John worked for the most.
Well, yeah.
Because when he was with the director was the person who basically raised him in a way.
Right.
Yeah. And remember those rumors that you were hearing about a spin-off movie about the ballerina?
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
they are doing that still, but that's telling you where it's coming from.
Yeah.
Right. And he's from Belarus. He's an orphan from Belarus. So like he's I don't want to say the word owned by the Russian mob, but he belongs to them. So that's why he knows them so
Russian?
much.
They were
Russian. Yeah. They were. Vigo was Russian. But the thing is, just because he was loyal to the Russian mob didn't mean that he couldn't dabble with other families.
Well, yeah, because
whoever needs him,
right? But
he knew who he was more loyal to.
Right.
That's why Vigo was so respectful towards him. Everyone in the Russian mob knew of him. Kevin Nash's character.
Yeah.
Right. Like, I mean, come on.
Yeah.
But just because those guys knew him just as much, everyone else in the entire community knew how literally ruthless he was, to the point where they was like, "Yo, anything John touches, we don't want to go near."
Oh yeah.
Like, and the people who've never met him, just heard shit about him, wanted to test their limits with him, such as we saw in the third movie with Zero and his students.
Yeah. They were just
fans.
They were fans, and they wanted to see him.
They didn't want to kill you. We was like, because
they
had him dead to rights. They were like, they had him. They were like, and he was like, all right, like, hold up, like, all right, let's go. Like, let's really just. I'm gonna show
Because
you what
it's
I am.
2-1, and you done
They got 9.
walk through the world like a fucking Mario
yeah.
brother.
True.
So let's take him on one by one.
They felt it was an honor to
Just give him
fight
a moment.
John Wick.
Yes.
They didn't want to kill him. It was an honor to fight him because they left it up to the master.
And
much.
that's why.
Of course.
And
Save
that's
it
why,
up.
of course. And I mean, he did say, "No one kills you but me."
Exactly.
And also, John gave the respect of not killing them,
yeah.
Right.
and said his famous line of "Be seeing you." And they were just sitting there like, "Oh, thank God we didn't die, but we fought him! Yay!"
As long as we had the privilege.
Exactly.
It's too bad that deaf girl couldn't say that in the last movie.
Oh, Ruby? Yeah.
Well, she's about to be Batwoman, so she ain't got the time
Yeah.
right now.
But I want
Common still has a way of coming back.
Yeah, well, yeah, he's
I'm
not
surprised he
dead.
didn't show up. I thought he was going to be in
I
there.
thought he was too, but maybe his character was cut out beforehand.
Yeah,
But
they're making a
Also
fourth
John
one.
Leguizamo.
They have to.
I thought he was going to be in it too.
John Leguizamo, he was doing his Broadway show
Right.
around the time
that.
filming. So, but he'll be back in the next one.
Oh,
And
excellent.
if John Leguizamo was in, like, it's weird. I don't think John Leguizamo wanted to come after. Like, John was more like his friend than.
But they
someone-
were
But if he ever needed help,
They were still going
Yeah.
to use him as a friend because he wasn't going to, like, even the doctor still helped him even after the time was up.
Yeah.
Like he gave him the
Alma
pills that he needed.
Well, he
and
told him where it was.
Yeah.
yeah. He's like, I can't help you, but they ain't gonna believe me, so you got to make it good.
He's like, you gotta shoot me right.
Wow. He's like, oh shit.
And even though he was excommunicated from all places and all that stuff, I swear that when what's name got hit off that bike and rolled onto the Continental grounds and went like this, I wanted somebody to yell out, "Safety!"
Giant game of manhunt, because that's
For real,
basically
that's
what it was.
basically what it was.
It's like,
But
safe.
even with that,
Home free.
like Homeboy could have, like, what's his face?
Mark Dacascos?
No. I keep forgetting his name.
Wire guy.
Tyrion or whatever.
Yeah,
his name is.
Turin.
Turin.
Yeah.
He could have like literally just kicked his foot off of the thing and said, "He's all yours." But he even helped them.
Rules.
Rules were rules, and they had to respect it.
Exactly.
I mean, look, the whole thing
The
about
director, the Sophia,
Winston.
Winston, like Sophia. I'm sorry, fucking like Halle Berry like redeemed herself with this movie.
She really did.
No,
All that
look,
trash
here's the
action
thing with the
film she
whole
did.
movie. Like, the way I felt about it was, you say thoroughly unimpressed. I loved it. I didn't. There was some parts where I was kind of
You
like,
can't even bring yourself to say it.
no, I really can't say I didn't like. I can't say that there was parts I didn't like. Where it's kind of like, what's going on here? Like when the whole thing where he went to when he went to Morocco and
Casablanca.
yeah, and the whole like when he saw Halle Berry and their relationship and the dogs, even the dogs thing, I thought was very symbolic of Egyptian in a way, like where because they were in that area, so it was just like
Guards.
yeah, the guards like Anubis, you know.
I
I thought about the whole thing. I was like, wow, this is kind of hitting me a little bit of like.
It's really funny. He should mention that.
Well, let me get to it.
Go.
And then when they talking about the whole like when she had the two dogs, I thought like, okay, this is playing off like Egyptian gods and stuff like that because of where they are at. I know it's Egypt, but in Morocco it's all Africa, but whatever. But I was like, oh shit, they're going somewhere with this. And then when they went into the I forgot bronze plate. I know him as Bron. I only know him as Bron. I only know him as Bron. I'm sorry. He's been the same character for almost 10 years. He's the same fucking character. I'm sorry.
But his accent was
I
fucking
called
him-
believable,
Yeah, his accent was
man.
great.
I called him out in the theater too. Hey, Brian.
Yeah, exactly. So when they went there and they were showing all this coin and all that, I was like, why does this sound like Assassin's Creed? Like all this stuff.
Oh, that's where I was not going. I wasn't going.
It did remind it but the whole coin thing, like and him getting his finger chopped off.
When
and
they showed the Elder, that was the more Assassin's Creed part.
Well, even so, like the whole like where they made the coins and stuff like that. Like that whole thing, like this is the first coin, this and that, blah blah blah, to explain that, and then him getting his finger chopped off. That whole thing, I was like, where are they taking this? Are we going to get John Wick Assassin's Creed? Like, I don't
and
think
there's been theories everywhere with
like,
that.
but the fact that, but even meeting like that,
the Elder.
he ain't that old, but yeah.
I know they just call him that. Yeah,
he ain't that old, but even meeting him and just being there, I was just kind of like, this does feel like Assassin's Creed a little bit. Like it's like it's some shadows of it a little bit.
but go ahead.
And they're dealing with assassins, so I guess
Exactly, because it's dealing with assassins. A lot of lore is gonna
overlap
each other.
And also the guy, whatever his name is, the guy with the coins and the marker.
Bronze.
Let's call him Bronze.
Let's call him Bronze.
I fucking knew his name, but I fucking forgot.
Yeah.
He explained, do you know where the word assassin comes from? And
Right,
he was talking
that
about,
whole thing.
Hashashin and all that stuff, the eaters of hashish, and basically that was a tradition. What you saw, with the elder, that is supposedly a tradition of loyalty.
Mm-hmm.
Cutting off your finger, stripping your weakness away.
Mm-hmm.
When he gave him the ring, and if anybody paid attention to how I love how the cinematography like literally showed how the ring was going through his pocket. I was like, that nigga's gonna come back for that ring. But
I just marked you for death. You don't know.
I'm
I'm with this.
gonna track on that ring.
But also, I wouldn't put it past him.
That's
I wouldn't put it past him because think about it. You can't find the elder.
They find you.
Exactly. So he's probably and what the adjudicator said, we don't want him coming into the middle of the night getting all of us. That's pretty much what he's gonna do. But
I hated her. She
did her job
she
well.
did her-
You know
she
why?
did-
Because if you hated seeing it, like, this bitch again. She did her job
She did.
extremely well.
By
Shout
the
out to
way,
that actress.
by the way,
She was kind of cute too.
by the way, did you know that she's
She
the
could play Catwoman.
Did you know that character was the first non-binary actor?
Yeah.
She's a binary, meaning
Non-binary,
Non-binary.
meaning she don't identify with either.
Sex.
I was like,
Really?
that's interesting. I read that. I was like, that is interesting.
Very.
Very.
I was pretty impressed with that because it fooled me. I was like, holy crap! I never knew this.
I want her to play Catwoman.
Why?
The way she carried herself in that scene, in the scenes, I was kind of like,
You know what? I want to say something. I don't give a fuck if it's chauvinistic because it is. I'm a fucking guy. She's not hot enough. I'm sorry. She's not hot enough. She's hot. Don't get me
to
wrong.
me,
If I saw her somewhere, I'm like, but no, she's not hot enough.
Okay.
The hot factor, she's like here.
Wow.
Yeah, just saying. Keep it 100% real.
But
Doesn't mean she doesn't have potential
also
to be another character.
what?
Doesn't mean she doesn't have a potential to be another
True,
character.
definitely.
Yeah, she has
But
potential.
what was it? When he was going on the tangent about the gods and stuff like that, like the Egyptian gods and stuff. Funny thing is that the first John Wick actually delves into the Greek and Roman, the Greek gods mostly, for Marcus and Aurelio. They're actually a part of Greek mythology. I forgot who they were.
Who they represent?
Marcus and Aurelius. They were Greek Greek people from back in the day in some type of lore. I keep forgetting the lore that it was. But the coins are not. They explain how they're not a sign of like value or anything. They have no value or
They're
anything
like
like that. They're past.
Like the river Styx.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
That's exactly what they use it for. It's kind of like a business card in a way. In this
In
universe.
their world, yeah.
Yeah. So it's kind of like a way of saying, just this is my passage to get in. That's why. And what was it? What's his name? Tyrion.
Tyrion, yeah.
Tyrion?
Tyrion, yeah.
He's the gatekeeper to safe passage in Greek mythology. That's why he takes the coin and he puts it in his pocket and leads himself safe passage through the Continental.
That's a nice symbolism for that.
Yeah, I was reading up on it to see the names of each person, and
And their
everyone from the first movie are from Greek mythology.
I was waiting for this dude because of fucking American guys, Ian McShane.
Right.
To be like, I'm older.
So speaking about that, I'm glad you brought that up. I just going to start watch
What you haven't watched?
So what I did was I watched here and there, but it was hard for me to stay glued to it because of other shows, and it was on Stars. So
when you were watching it, was it just coming out, or the episodes were already done?
they were just coming out.
That's why.
And
Netflix has ruined our life. Netflix has ruined us. We have to watch it all the way through.
So
we don't
so what really made me sink into it more was, damn, dare I say, that whole scene, fucking just
got you. American Gods.
Oh my!
Have you guys watched American Gods?
Oh yeah.
I purposely didn't watch season 2
I need to get on
because I want to binge it through. Fuck you, Netflix. I love you though.
It's the same with me.
Yeah, Netflix room.
Fucking Netflix.
Like Anansi, like really, like that whole scene, that the first scene he's in on the slave ship really fucked me up
because it had you thinking.
It had me thinking.
You're just
like,
gonna sit there and basically just take, and you was like, oh shit, he's speaking. It's like he's speaking to you without speaking to you.
But yeah, he was just the fact that he was just like, let's talk about. Let me tell you a story about man. And it's like, oh, you don't know you black. As soon as these Dutch motherfuckers know that they white and you black, you fucked up. 100 years, fucked. 100 years after that, fucked. The only thing that's good without these white motherfuckers is that when your grandkids pick that tobacco, giving these white motherfucking cancer. I was like, damn, like he's laying it out like that. I was like, and mind you, I went to go see. I went to go see if this whole thing was in the book. It is. That whole thing.
Bruh, you don't
word
cut
for
out
word,
Neil Gaiman's
word
stuff.
for word,
It
verbatim
stays.
is in the fucking book. I was shocked, and just to like read it, and I was like, God damn, like, whew. Now I heard, but the thing about it, we had to wait like 2 years for
Because
season 3.
Season 2. The reason
No,
why.
season 2 already came out.
Yeah, now it did, but before it didn't.
Yeah.
because
Oh, yeah.
Starz canceled it.
Yeah,
And
season
there
3
would
we
be-
have to wait for 2 years, something like that.
Maybe
They said 2 years.
because the thing is, the original thing was they're gonna put it on Prime, Amazon Prime, because they
Right.
picked it up, and then Starz is like, all right, cool. But I'm like, is it on Prime or is it on Starz? That's
Well,
one thing
here's the
I
thing.
didn't
What I
understand.
noticed now, when you're looking on YouTube, it still says Stars at
Of
the
course.
bottom, but somehow it's also you can go on Prime and they have
Because they sold it, they had to buy the rights from them.
right.
It's
And
kind of like with the show Nashville. I used to watch it. It came on
Right.
7, went
oh
to
yeah,
CMT,
yeah.
and then it still shows ABC at the end. Because
So
they created
yeah,
the show.
so it's on Prime, and the only thing is that because they give you the history about the characters now because it's 2 seasons have passed.
Mhm.
So it was cool. I'll just for certain scenes, like even the even Anansi scene when he's talking to Belliquist,
Mhm.
that shit was crazy because even what's his I was Winston, not Winston, what's his name? Odin, basically.
Oh,
Ian McShane.
Ian
Yeah,
McShane.
Ian
Yeah.
So even his scenes when he's talking to Shadow, like his scenes when he's talking to him about gods and everything, I was just like, and how we forgot about them. You know, we forgot about them and our new guys is technology, media, and world. What's this world something? But those are the new guys.
But that's how the Twilight of the Gods in Greek mythology went. It's basically they stopped being believed in,
Right.
so then the power in them started to fade.
And it's the
in
same.
general.
It's the same.
And also sacrifice.
And it's also the same in Assassin's Creed. They basically became legends because they were fizzled out.
Yeah.
Mhm. Nobody
But the
believed
fact
in
about it is, like, the whole war between the old guys and the new guys is
It is crazy.
It's a
crazy.
smart thing.
It is smart.
It's
Smart
crazy.
strategy.
Like, but anyway.
But yeah.
Oh, by the way, did you know that the director of John Wick movies was Keanu Reeves' stunt double in The Matrix?
Yeah.
That I did know.
I did know that.
I did not know. I was like, oh, that's kind of cool.
That guy's cool.
It was also, I think, a double for Brandon Lee in The Crow.
Wow.
Yeah, like the last
The
scene.
feels.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
To this day.
You know, the John, like the guys from Raid Redemption were in that movie.
Yes, they were.
Absolutely.
And,
yes.
and you know what? I'm so happy that, like, not only are they, I think the Raid Redemption put them way above a map, way above the map because now we're seeing them, how they did Raid Redemption, right?
Mm-hmm.
You see it in everything now.
Of course, they want
The hallway scene, right? Where else did we see that? John Wick, Daredevil, right?
And Old Boy.
And Old Boy.
Yep.
Right. So
why Old Boy was first?
Right. Wide shots of fight scenes. Where do we see that more of? We see it more now in American movies, right? Including Star Wars. Didn't anybody really catch that in Rogue One? That they were, you know.
But they did it in Force Awakens as well.
Right.
Was it Force
Last
Awakens,
Jedi.
the last Jedi, the last fight. Yeah.
But if you look at that, they taken implements from these guys who, not for nothing. Let's be real about it. Yeah, they a lot of this stuff has been done by Jackie Chan, Jet Li.
Yeah, those are the
pioneers.
Right, the pioneers. But also too, we gotta give it to one other person too, though.
Hi, Lucius Lyon. To the Empire.
We gotta give it to one person too, who's really kind of gave them their push.
Who that?
Tony Jaa.
Gave who the push?
Well, as far as that type of film.
Well, so that type of fighting, like in that type of fighting and that type of style, it wasn't seen yet. Like we saw it with Jackie Chan, but Tony Jaa did bring something new.
He brought Muay Thai more to the mainstream.
But
those guys fight in Salat. There's a totally different style.
But
it's just more in your face, more aggressive type stuff.
But
it's not
they fight Muay Thai.
But
too.
Jackie Chan and Sammo Hung and Donnie Yen, those were the originators of like.
Yo, Sammo Hung put it down for the big action star.
Yeah,
You don't see a big action star anymore.
He really did.
Word.
But the thing is, those guys were the pioneers of like one take like fighting.
Well, yeah.
Definitely.
I'm not saying that. I'm not saying that not props, but also too, I'm just saying like for Thai people, like Tony Jaa is like they're
Yeah, but when was the last time you saw Tony Jaa do a fucking film?
he does a lot of films.
Directed film videos.
Yeah, but actually, the last film that he was actually in, like movie theater wise, I want to.
Barada, that was his name. Sorry, I just looked it up.
What are you talking about?
I just looked it up.
Motherfuckers spitting fucking Lion King shit.
Yeah, no,
What am I talking?
Fucking Jerome Flynn. His name was Barada in
Jerome Flynn, that's his name.
In John Wick 3.
I love that how
his character's name was Barada.
I'm glad you.
Braun?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
You know
Sorry, it just came. I was looking.
I'm glad, and I'm kind of mad that you gave me his character name and not his fucking real name, which is what I was fucking up. He was like, yeah, Han Solo. What the fuck does that mean?
No,
yeah, Harrison Ford.
I thought we were all. I was trying to figure out his character's name. I knew his name. I was just trying to figure out his character's name.
Die on the surface of the sun. You just let me sit here and sizzle.
Because I thought you knew his real name. You knew everybody's name.
Nigga, I said I almost forgot. I had his name, but I forgot.
Braun. We just said Braun.
So we just fucking said
Braun because we known him as Braun for so many years. We haven't seen him in anything else.
You know, Robin Lord Taylor was in that movie too. In John Wick 3, he was the administrator who deconsecrated the Continental.
Oh yeah, the dude from he's the Riddler.
He had piercings and shit on him. Nobody knew.
He's the Penguin in Gotham.
Yes, I saw him. I
saw him. I was like, oh shit, it's him.
Remember that movie Man of Tai Chi?
I do.
Yeah.
He's in this too.
Yeah,
as a triad member.
Yeah, I know.
Triads.
I was telling him. Of course you know.
That's why he pointed at me like Uncle Sam.
And they
I don't ever want to see you again.
I knew it was coming. I tried to fight it, but the feeling was too strong.
And it looks like I'm that was. And it looks like that. This might be just me speculating, but it looks like because they name her the ballerina in this. The chick that you see on the stage.
Dancing, spinning?
Her name's Unity something, but it looks like they filmed her as the ballerina.
Well, she has the tattoos, and you only
They all have the tattoos.
Yeah, it's like a brand.
It's the brand of the director, I'm guessing, because other people have different tattoos as well. Like the triads have different tattoos. The Japanese.
Triads.
Yeah.
But anyway,
yeah.
But all I'm saying is that I think Tony Jaa pretty much gave pretty much set the tone for a lot of these the Thai the
South
Thai way of
Asian
doing,
place,
yeah.
yeah.
Because honestly, we haven't seen that many people do like what Ray Redemption is doing until they started doing until they learned and I'm pretty sure they learned from Tony Jaa, because Tony Jaa had his own team, and I'm pretty sure they were part of that team. You know, so they all they did was just like, all right, well, we going.
You know what blew my mind when I found out about the Ray Redemption? Not to throw shade on anybody's ethnicity or anything.
Right.
I didn't know the goddamn Gareth Edwards, I think it is.
Gareth Edwards.
I didn't know he was fucking white. I thought
Me
he was
neither.
an Asian director from. He's white.
No,
He's white as a motherfucking t-shirt around your neck.
Freaking Welsh director.
Speaking about the t-shirt around my neck.
Damn right. If you didn't know what time it was, it's motherfucking Fouché 2019.
2019.
If you didn't know that, this motherfucker is the only one without a shirt. I ran out of larges. It's all good. Checks in them, man.
It's that year.
But yeah,
Cap.
yeah. It's. I mean, I like what they're doing, and I see that a lot of movies are taking what they've done and using it now more, including TV shows. We'll see more hallway scene fights. We'll see one whole scene shot.
Yeah, one long take.
I'm sorry, Daredevil knocked it out the park.
He really did.
Every
He
freaking
dominated
season.
that shit.
Every season.
It had that
hallway
one shot hallway.
The last one, he should have died. Keep it real. If he wasn't him, he should have been a dead ass.
Even Iron Fist did one.
Did he?
Yes.
He
Was
did.
the second season?
Both. And the first one was terrible.
I don't even remember the first one.
The fight,
I remember the second one.
the
first
fight
one was
upgrade
terrible.
in the second one was so much better. By leaps and bounds. And they said, that's nice. That's like telling the kid, hey, man, you did great. Thanks, man. I'm good. He's like, yeah, it's amazing. He's like, you're going to be in the NBA? Really? Nah, nigga, it's over. We canceling this shit right now. Game time. It's over. Like, oh, my God. That's what they did. It was like the big nigga who goes for the high five with a little kid, like, high five. Fuck out of here.
Or was it bad? Or was it bad, like, when we're looking at a kid playing basketball?
Oh, this motherfucker, the worst. This motherfucker could have been a bad PSA. We had some fucking Light FM music because I was just switching channels, and it was like,
Oh God, not this again.
And he was like, yeah. See that kid said? It was like, yeah. He's like, he's practicing. He's gonna make NBA.
He's gonna make it.
He's gonna make it. Then this motherfucker was like, yeah, the music's still going. Motherfucker just pulls the motherfucking shit down on the fucking the window. It's like, again, you go fast. Nigga missed the shot. I'm like, damn, you're terrible. You're terrible.
Hopes and dreams crushed.
This nigga hit him like a student loan. He's like, you thought you were free? Give me that shit. Sally Mae Freddie Mac, motherfucker.
Nabby, bitch.
We got all the degrees.
Your word, Nabby, motherfucker.
Wow. Nabby for real.
For real. But let's move on.
That's too funny.
Black Caesar.
You're right.
Doom Patrol.
Doom Patrol, yes.
Doom Patrol.
Well, I have to say this definitely kicks Titans in its ass personally, even though I thoroughly enjoy Titans.
Yeah, same.
Doom Patrol went next level. I'm talking like the extra mile.
Okay.
In the realm of weird and disturbing.
Can I ask you a question?
Yeah,
Go for it.
Go for it.
I mean, I kind of Cyborg. Like,
Yeah.
is he doing anything in this?
He's doing a lot,
doing
actually.
a hell of a lot in this show.
He's doing a lot. Now, I know that Doom Patrol and him don't mesh. They do now. But I felt it was a good fit, though, because that's probably going to give hope for him to transition maybe into the realm of Titans. I mean, if it's a possibility.
Now, is his whole body still like
Yeah.
is it techno? Like, is it the techno? Like, is his whole body techno and then?
Is he a cyborg, basically?
Basically, yeah.
He is cyborg.
Because it only showed like I only see this face part, and
Yeah.
the enemy's wearing a jumpsuit, and I'm kind of
Oh,
like,
trust me, no. There's cybernetics underneath.
Yeah,
that.
he's just wearing a jumpsuit to try to like fit in type thing.
Yeah,
Okay.
exactly.
Kind of like
yeah.
Hellboy with his horn.
Rest assured,
But
he's
he-
got it down packed.
And he
Okay.
will be in Titans.
Oh,
It's just that they introduced him in this,
right, sure.
And
Makes sense.
he will be in Titans probably
Yeah.
like third season.
Yeah, but I got to tell you who the real like standout character is in this
Who's
show.
the
It's
MVP?
fucking Brendan Fraser.
How did I know you were
Yeah.
gonna say that nigga?
I mean,
Brendan Fraser.
yo.
So that nigga did it with honors.
Yes, I see
so
what
Brendan
you did
Fraser
there.
jump. Get that shit.
Dude.
Better call your mummy.
Was it bedazzled?
As a matter of fact, it was. Yes.
I was
Hell.
laughing to my monkey bone. See that?
Some say it was the do right.
Damn, I gotta tell my mommy.
Fucking already did it. Fucking around with Georgia and jumping to my.
Then he gotta tell his mommy too.
Oh, knew that nigga returned.
Like,
Not with that Scorpion King.
Well done, sir. That shit was a blast from the past.
damn it. My soul.
Damn.
I did it.
Nah, too bad I didn't see no man.
Yeah.
Or the Dragon King.
But yo, his role as Robot Man is like it's equivalent to like RDJ's role as like Iron Man, like in terms of like comebacks in like
really?
superhero role.
Oh,
yeah,
nice.
like he really just dominated. I'm like, welcome back, Brent. Welcome back.
Truly, because he was. We
He
were
was gone
talking
for a
about
minute.
this too when Doom
was gone
Patrol
for a minute.
started. We was
You know
like,
what's
yo,
fucked up?
he's
I
like.
watched that Looper shit on YouTube, and it was like, why Hollywood won't cast Brendan Fraser anymore? I'd be like, damn.
Yeah,
They said
man.
his requests were too odd. But I heard that he said he went to a Hollywood party. Somebody tried to grab him a certain way. He was like, yo, get the fuck out of here. And he was like, you know what? I don't like this shit no
Terry
more.
Crews, like the dude tried to get Terry Crews to do something.
Kind of like that. They, like he touched him a certain way. He was like, this is a Hollywood party? He's like, you know what? Fuck these people.
Yeah, like that Terry Crews shit.
Yeah, basically.
I'm sorry, still, like, how the fuck you do something to Terry Crews? But anyway, sorry, Black.
No, it's all good. Yeah, man. Terry Crews is important too.
Terry Crews. I'll be right back. You gotta get the keys. Come on.
But casting was superb. Also, what was it? As the villain, Mr. Nobody. What's his name? Alan Tudyk. I mean, he's a fan favorite.
Alan Tudyk.
Alan Tudyk was Mr. Nobody.
Yeah.
Nice.
Absolutely.
Amazing.
I met him at Rhode Island Comic Con.
Did you really?
He's awesome, dude.
He's
I
like
bet
there
he
every
is.
year. He'll be there this year too.
Yeah. He's on my head.
And we'll be there.
Yes, we will.
November 1 through 3rd.
1 through 3rd.
Yeah.
1 through 3.
1 through 3rd.
Okay.
1, 2, 3.
First through 3. You might as well. First through 3rd. You might as well say that then.
Yeah.
Weirdo.
Yeah, man.
Anyway, continue.
Yeah. He was phenomenal. He was a great addition. Actually, seeing him as a villain kind of got my mind jolting, saying like, hey, in terms of like, great like character actors, why couldn't he be the Joker? I could really picture
I don't know.
that. You know what I'm saying?
People
I
don't
can
see him as that. Though.
I think
that's the funny thing.
I think the problem is when it comes to the Joker, particularly, like,
I know he's
it
like,
takes a very, very strong, well, not even that much strong, but it takes a lot to be the
I'm
Joker.
about to say, you can't say strong because everybody who's been a Joker fucking failed at being strong.
yeah.
Except Jack Nicholson. He's still
Even
alive.
the dude has like, what? Oh God, because he's retired from acting because the dude has basically like, damn, what the fuck is that? That not a disease.
Dementia?
Yeah, he has dementia now.
I thought he had vaginitis.
That too.
What happened?
I'm just getting so
Like,
much pussy.
I mean,
If you think
So
about Jack
vagina
Nicholson,
because he was fine until after that role.
you sure it was that role? Because he played the werewolf in that role. You sure it was that role? Because he did a role before that was a lot more crazier than that. You forgot Here's Johnny. That was a fucked up.
You
show.
mean The Shining?
Whatever, nigga. That's still.
Yeah, but he even said the joke.
Yeah, I mean, he did that role. He did that. What movie he did with Cher where he was a fucking whatever the fuck he was.
But he
The
said,
Witches or something.
Dude, that was.
but
Yeah,
he said it himself that the Joker role was the most challenging role he's ever done, and it's really screwed with his psyche a lot.
Bro.
This is why he told anyone who ever get that role to every person two people who got that role, he warned both of them.
He warned Heath.
He warned Heath and he warned Jared Leto
Yeah.
about that role.
Absolutely.
Yeah, he told Jared Leto don't suck.
No.
Yeah.
Too late.
They didn't give him enough time. It's not that he sucked.
He sucked.
I don't think he did. It's just that the people who wrote his shit just sucked.
You're right.
That's who did it.
You're right.
Agreed.
He could have blew it out the park, but no. They wrote it dumb. And whoever did the damn makeup and shit was stupid too.
Exactly.
Let's give him tattoos on the face.
They made him look like a joke.
Literally.
Yes.
Fucking Machine Gun Kelly Joker. Get the fuck out of here.
Machine Gun Kelly.
Wow.
I mean, I can understand being a gangster and all,
Exactly.
but
I can see that.
they did it in Batman 1989. They made him a gangster Joker.
Yes.
And then they had to do an anarchy Joker. Like, go away from those two. Do something different.
All right, back to Doom Patrol.
I'm sorry.
That's all good. No, I feel you. It's a sensitive subject. It's a sensitive subject. But yeah, man, it was just stellar. Yeah, the casting was great. And each episode just got stranger and stranger, and but it worked though. Oh well. Well, let's just say it went to very odd places in terms of dimensions and creatures.
Are you serious?
I'm dead ass.
This is the Doom Patrol we're talking about, bro.
Yeah, bro. I mean, just think of them as a fucked up version of the X-Men.
Pretty much.
Well, I was thinking of them more fucked up than like the Fantastic Four.
No, they're the
No, there's more than 4 of them.
Yeah, there is. They just these are just the ones they introduce you to.
Yeah.
Right.
Like the main people they introduce you to. They collect more because it's a school basically this guy has. And he brings them in.
Exactly. Just dysfunctional people who need help.
Like Beast Boy was a part of them. And did you hear that?
Yeah, Bitch Boy.
Yeah. Did you hear that they're retconning that whole thing of why
like,
are they doing that?
What happened?
He was part of
If
it.
anyone saw Titans, they introduced Beast Boy and the Doom Patrol in Titans.
Yeah, I know.
Did that really?
Yeah,
Yes.
they did.
4th episode.
They retconned the whole thing of Beast Boy even being with the Titans.
Which was ridiculous.
Because when they start, they don't tell you what part of. Well, they do. It kind of supposedly the Doom Patrol starts after Beast Boy leaves, but the thing is, nobody mentions Beast Boy ever in the show.
Like he never existed.
Like he never existed. So it's almost like DC's weird because they're fucking with a good thing.
They are.
They had a good thing rolling and they screwed it up.
They're fucking with their own continuity. Gotcha.
I know, that's
Like they did fucking 52. No, 52.
Yeah, it's not like they haven't done that before. Actually, how they explain. Did you see? By the way, sorry.
No, it's all right.
I read nothing. I haven't read anything.
Well, Doomsday Clock number 10 explains everything.
Why it's so fucking stupid.
Just
No.
watch Comic Explains and Comic Historian. You'll find out.
Yeah.
Oh, you'll know.
Yes.
But Cyborg actually he really grew on me. I mean, at first I might have been a little on the fence about it, but then later on, I was like, you know what, this kid's all right. He actually did it He did it to a T. I'm like, listen, so he's not tall, or maybe he doesn't have so fucking what? It doesn't matter. He has the personality as well as the right attributes.
Did he say booyah?
I was just gonna say that.
He did.
Okay.
He did.
It's his line. Like, come on now.
Yeah, it ain't him if he don't say it, man. Yeah. But overall, I would give that a 10 out of 10. That's my personal score.
Oh shit!
I highly recommend
Holy
it.
shit!
Yeah.
Really? I gotta finish
bro.
this series then.
You gotta,
I gotta watch
send
it
me
now.
your information
It is.
again,
It's
because
just-
You keep forgetting.
Speaking about
Nah, raise my price.
Speaking about Doom Patrol and Titans, I don't think I mentioned it, but I did wind up watching Teen Titans Go. It was
What, the
on,
movie?
It's on HBO Go, yeah.
Okay.
And so I was kind of, because I was like, what if, I was like, let me.
which one entertained?
I laughed my ass
Told
off.
you.
It wasn't entertaining.
It's
The part
entertaining.
the part that fucked me up the most about this movie is that, you know what, we're gonna make sure they don't become heroes and this and that, and then they changed everybody and shit like that. Stop Batman parents from going in the alley. Why are you going in there? Why are you taking your kid in there? I was like, yo. I was like, oh my god.
It's true, rich people problems.
I was
what
like-
the fuck are you doing? This
Yeah,
is
like-
How you going in
It's-
the alley?
it's-
Get in your car, bitch.
It's like,
Where's Alfred?
It's like it's literally called Crime Alley. Look at it. And it was like,
That's true.
like everybody going. I was like, yo.
That's true. I never thought of it like that. And them niggas are from there, so they should know not to
For
go
real.
to that alley.
What
And-
kills me is that where is Alfred with the car?
Exactly.
He was there. He was with. I mean, it's not like.
That nigga was paying Frog on the phone. He was like, fucking.
Like what I don't.
Like, I got him. He's dead.
I mean, come
Boom.
on.
That's what it was.
It's
I
funny,
don't know no rich person
That
who
goes
calls a
in
taxi
Get the
to
fuck
see a
out.
fucking movie. Go
Right.
fuck yourself. In the worst city in America, Get out of my
But
life.
here's the thing. Here's the thing.
Butler,
Here's
Come
the
on.
thing.
What's the point?
Here's the thing about that.
Bodyguard Butler.
I'll go back to that, but I'll go back to that whole thing. But Teen Titans Go, the movie, it was so funny because when they realized they fucked up, when they realized they fucked up, they realized that all the villains took over. So they went back in time. They did a whole Back to the Future thing. Went back in time and made everybody become superheroes again. So in other words, they didn't take Wonder Woman's lasso away from her, so she never got inspired to be Wonder Woman. They pushed. They never stopped Krypton from exploding. So God. instead of like, because how they stopped Krypton from exploding was they made, you know how you move the crystals around and stuff like that. They played music and it calmed the planet down from exploding.
What kind of shit is that?
Wow.
And it was dubstep, really. It was like dun, dun, dun,
Really?
and then little baby Superman Kal-El was dancing, shaking his ass, butt naked and shit. They showed it. I was like, took his diaper off, was waving around his head and shit, like he was twerking and shit. He was twerking, like little baby Clark Kent was twerking. Oh my God. And then so so when they made them go back, what they did was when they went back in time, and they went to Krypton, because it was all safe now. They broke the machine that was making that they played the music on. Mm-hmm. So now the planet's about to explode. They were like, the Clark Kent's parents was just like, fuck it. Like they just put the baby in the ship, and then he went off, and then he became Superman. Oh and then God. So
they didn't show it explode, did they?
Yeah, they did.
Wow.
And then what
Savages.
happened? And then the most fucked up one that made me die, and I don't know why
it made him die.
It made me die, but
Die Hard.
I couldn't stop laughing. I rewinded it like 5 times. They went to where Bruce and his parents were, right? They were just standing there in front of Crime Alley. They were walking away. They literally, and I can't believe they did this. They pushed Bruce's parents in Crime Alley, and all you hear is and all you see the pearls drop on the floor and shit. And then, what they did when he went back, put the pearls on her, and then pushed his parents in Crime Alley. All you see is boom, 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 boom. You see flashes, and then the little baby kid Bruce is like. And then you just see the comic book Batman pop up. I was like, wow.
So dark.
And I was like, and then you see the blood dripping from the alley though. I was like,
what the fuck?
Yo, these guys are savages.
I was like, this is, I rewinded it 5 times because I could not stop laughing. And I don't know why Batman's parents dying is laughing. Because they do it, like, every time you see it happen, somebody makes fun of it somehow. Yeah. Like in Drawn Together.
Oh my God.
That was the worst. Like, it was like, oh, Captain Heroes had a party. This is why I don't get invited to Batman's parties anymore. Because I did one rendition of how his parents died. It's like, oh, what? We're drunk in the alley. Oh, save me, Batman, save me, save me. No! Boom! Batman signed his blood and splattered the back. I was like, if you ever get a chance, if you guys are, for our fans, if you ever get a chance, watch Drawn Together. Watch the scene. Type in Captain Hero. Batman. And he shows how he imitated Batman's parents dying. All the heroes are just standing there looking at him and was shocked. Even Robin's like, but yeah, Robin pushed Bruce's parents in Teen Titans Go into they all pushed them in the crowd.
Oh, I thought you said Robin just did. I'm like, God damn.
No, Robin didn't do it by himself. They all did it. And what fucked up thing is, I was like, God damn, this is the most fucked up shit I've seen in my life.
Yeah, even for Robin.
I was like, oh God. So
Robin
that was just funny.
Robin happens.
Yeah, that had me dying, but it was just funny. And one other scene is the Batman's chasing after them in the Batmobile, and they destroy the Batmobile. So now he jumps. He got the motorcycle. He's like, Batman Returns. Every time you destroy one of his vehicles, he says a movie. Batman Returns. Boom.
Batman
he got the
Forever.
Batman. Then he jumped in Batman Forever, and then he was on rollerblades and shit. He was on a little scooter and shit. And then one time he jumped and they blew up something else, right? And the next thing you know, you see Alfred running with him with Batman on his back. What? It was fucking crazy. They're getting away in like one of the cars that you around in the studios, and every time Batman was chasing them, and every time they were chasing him with a vehicle, fucking Starfire and Raven would throw a blast and blow up a vehicle that Batman was in, and he would just keep coming at him. He would not stop coming, and he was like, Batman Returns, Batman Forever.
Batman and Rock.
And then Batman begins, and then Alfred.
Batman begins.
And then Batman is and then Alfred. All you do is see is Alfred's running right with Batman on his back, and then he's like.
Those motherfuckers know how to make fun of themselves.
Oh,
that's the thing that I did enjoy about.
And one of the craziest jokes about that whole thing, I didn't think they were gonna do it. They were like, when they went to the Warner Bros. Studio, it was like, oh yeah, look, that's where the Animaniacs is. I was like. You mentioned this shit. I was like,
this is Warner Brothers making fun of themselves. It's literally the best movies they can do. Movies that make fun of them.
I was so happy they mentioned.
Look at Blazing Saddles.
Yo, yeah, for sure.
They were like
working for Mel Brooks. Thank you.
But yeah, it was. If you get a chance to, I don't watch Teen Titans Go at all. But there's some things that they do that's funny in there. Like the whole Robin versus the Flash scene, funny as hell. It's just it's just certain scenes.
Some of their episodes are actually not bad.
They're
pretty entertaining.
Humorous.
Now, being that you said that and you watched that, you were earlier. You were a big. I wouldn't say advocate, anti-advocate.
I was
for fucking Thundercats guy.
Yeah.
Don't you think that because
No.
Hear me out.
It's just like
Hear me out.
Won't even get a word. No.
Full page Kennedy. Sorry, whole book Kennedy. Think about it. We had all that because they made fun of the source material. They poked fun at stuff. Don't you think a beloved 80s cartoon doesn't have a shit ton of things we can point out and make fun of?
But see, they didn't do that.
I know, because they didn't get a chance to.
Yeah, that's true. Because they just canceled the shit out of it.
Because people was too much backlash.
All right, so let me.
How Transformers did it with all of his dumbass TV shows.
Yeah, but Transformers has years of cartoons.
So does Thundercats.
They got 2.
No, but they had a plethora of episodes back in the day,
right?
Which they can still make fun of.
With Teen Titans Go, right? Like I said, I don't watch the cartoons, but I've caught certain things about it that made me laugh. I'm still not a big advocate of Teen Titans because I like the old Titans.
Of course.
Because it had its funny moments, but it was serious. It was,
But it was more serious than funny.
No, the old Titans?
Yeah.
No, they had funny moments, but it was serious.
But it was more serious.
It was more serious, right?
Yeah,
and they're not dead apparently. Apparently, at the end of the movie, you get to see like, hey, they usually like, hey, hello, we're still around. I was like, I got chills.
Because it's Warner Brothers basically gloating that they're dangling Teen Titans back at people.
Yeah.
And they're like, hey, do you really want it? It's like supply and demand.
Yeah.
Right.
But to answer your question about the whole Thundercats and Teen Titans Go thing, like the problem with the whole Thundercats Teen Titans Go thing, it worked for Teen Titans Go because to me, I think Teen Titans and just DC Comics has so much to go off of. Movies. They have so many movies to go off of. They have so many TV shows to go off of. Thundercats don't have that. And they have so much they can go anywhere with it. With Thundercats, they have one 80s cartoon and they have one 2000s cartoon.
Mm-hmm.
They don't have anything else between that. If it was He-Man, maybe, but because He-Man has been.
I have a perfect idea.
He-Man's been cartoon, movie, back to cartoon.
They can kiss my ass.
What happened?
I don't care what nobody says. They can hate on
Master
that movie.
of the Universe.
Kiss my ass. I love that movie.
But
I do too.
But you know what though? what Thundercats Go could have done if they like, because they're all owned, like Thundercats.
They're owned by Warner Brothers now.
And He-Man.
Well,
Was
He-Man,
it Mattel before?
No, He-Man's Hasbro.
Okay.
Hasbro, yeah.
So if they had a little thing with Hasbro,
Or Mattel.
what Thundercats Go could have done was made fun of He-Man. What does it call it? She-Ra. They could have made fun of all those things that was just like Thundercats. If they would have had the rights to do it, but they couldn't have.
Well,
but they could
still poke fun of it without naming it.
They could poke fun of it without naming it. I mean, come on, fucking Wanted did that shit.
Right. Well, here's the thing too.
The comic or the stupid
The comic.
The comic.
Thank you.
Well, here's the thing too. I think the problem.
It does.
I think the problem if they really wanted to do another Thundercats, I don't think they should have did it in a way.
Soon.
I don't think they should have did it in a way that Teen Titans Go looks because it works for that, and it worked for that. It doesn't necessarily for me. It doesn't work for
you. Correct.
But obviously,
but you just
sung the
praise.
On, let me finish.
No, let me finish. You had a whole bunch of talk. Let me finish.
I'm not done talking
because I didn't get done finishing my thought. You gave your whole thing about how it was great to watch. How long was this movie?
An hour, some odd minutes.
An hour, some odd minutes. So chop that up. Average Teen Titans Go show was like 15 minutes.
20 minutes.
20 minutes.
Is it?
Boom, 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 boom. Dog, that's like mad episodes. You done watched the first season of the show.
And plus, each episode does 2 episodes. Each 20-minute episode does 2 episodes in it.
I don't know.
So basically, that's the thing. How you gonna say yeah for one and nay for the other? Because granted, we have tons of source material in the comic, tons of source material because of what two freaking cartoon series that came out. Think about it. Thundercats has still been going on. Comic books as well. That haven't been prevalent as
They
much.
haven't really been that.
But still, they've been going on.
Just
because you're not a fan of it doesn't mean it doesn't exist.
Well, it's not even just me not being a fan. Obviously, there was a big outcry for it because of the simple fact of it looked like Teen Titans Go, and people may not like that. And not for nothing, obviously, it's the way it looked. Like he didn't really. To me, they didn't try, and there's lies the problem. They didn't really try because they wanted to keep something that worked for one thing, but doesn't necessarily work for another. And there lies the problem. It's like, okay, it worked for this, maybe this can work for. No, maybe try something else.
But they did. They had a second series. It looked good. Visually, it was stunning, but
and
fell short.
But it's the same complaint that they did before with the same complaint they did with Young Justice. It wasn't selling enough toys.
Yeah, man. But
at the end of the day, it's a late. That's
it's a 20-minute toy commercial.
Yeah, but that's also why there was such an outcry for it to bring it back because we got it back, right? We got it back. It took years to get it back, but at the same time, it's like
them toys, them niggas is gone. They want Thanos, those niggas.
Yeah, but also at the same time, with like Teen Titans Go, it didn't do very well for its first 2 seasons.
No, it
like it was crashing. And
it was
Comedy and Comedy Central.
Wow.
Cartoon Network. It might as well be. Cartoon Network was going to can that fucking show until its 3rd season started, and it blew away.
Right, because they had.
It literally it blew up from there. So it had the same problem. People were outcrying the shit out of hold on. Was outcrying the shit out of Teen Titans Go because they erased Teen Titans.
Right.
They screwed with. They was like, you're gonna give us 2 seasons of Teen Titans or not even like 3 seasons of Teen Titans
and left it on a cliffhanger.
And then left it on a cliffhanger. And then you're gonna start Teen Titans Go. What? People hated it. And then it's the same problem.
Was the box with MTV too?
It's the same problem.
Shit just erased from existence.
It's the same problem. It's the same problem though with Thundercats. Mm-hmm. People remember Thundercats who are like our age or even older, but then they're like, hey, like the studios are like, hey, let's try to do the same outcome like with Teen Titans Go. Let's promote it to younger kids. but still have certain things that make the older crowd still think about it. Now, and they was like, we might, and I'm sure they thought to themselves, we might not get it right the first season, but it will grow on people just like Titans did. And they didn't get the chance because Cartoon Network was like, you know what, we're not gonna do the same thing with Titans because this doesn't even look like people really like it, and their ratings weren't going as high as it should have been.
People about it also, Cartoon Network is going down. Anyway.
It was. No, I'm not. No. I know Cartoon Network is going down the drain.
Big time.
I don't even know if it's still on. Does it still have that channel?
Yeah.
Does it exist?
You know why? It's because of Adult Swim.
Yeah.
That's the only reason why it still exists. And Adult Swim has dumb shows beyond belief on it, but people fucking watch it.
There's shows like Adventure Time, Adventure Time.
That's gone though.
It's gone.
Yeah. There's another one. I forgot. Damn it.
Rick and Morty is the only one that's fucking really.
Rick and Morty, but that's on Adult Swim.
Right, but there's other.
Has to be.
But there's other shows. There's other cartoons, right? That.
Oh, that and Toonami.
Yeah, right. There's other cartoons that kind of did not the same look as that, but did some type of look where it was still funny and still interesting. You know?
Craig and the Creek.
Oh my god!
Well, I forgot the name.
Fucking I think I know what you're about to say.
I forgot they were in the woods or some shit.
It's because it's like Survivor. Almost.
Yes. Yeah.
I know
you know
exactly what it
about.
is.
But but that's the thing. It's like you didn't really have to. We didn't have to get a Thundercat.
Drama Island or something like that.
Yeah. We didn't have to get a cartoon.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Total drama. Yeah.
Yeah.
Total drama.
We don't have to get a team.
stupid
We don't have to
shit.
get a Thundercats Go like Teen Titans. We can do something different that can probably still have the same thing, but we don't have to get the same look. You're trying to. I get it.
They were trying to grow on the same gravy train.
Yeah, but you can't do that.
You watch anime though?
Huh?
You watch anime though?
Oh no, I do.
No,
I do.
I'm just saying in general.
No. Yeah.
We watch similar styles. Of
It's
shit
true.
all the time.
It's true.
How the fuck are we going?
But that's true. See, and that's why you can't go on the style of look. It's just that people probably didn't find it as funny.
No.
They probably didn't sell it very well to be what it should have been.
And I'll admit the guy who talked the guy who was drawing it and everything like that when they showed the trailer of like him introducing it, there were some things we were like, I'll say the fans were just like, what the fuck did he just say? Like you watch Thundercats, but you do nothing to like really get the characters right. We were like, fuck you, dude. Moving on.
I don't know. We should probably
Go watch Teen Titans Go movie. You'll laugh your ass off. I'll say that.
So
It's on HBO.
I got a question for you guys.
Go for it.
What you got?
Are you happy with where you are right now?
I am very comfortable.
I like this place. Yeah, I'm happy with Platinum Art Studios. Thanks.
No, but like for real.
Thanks, Dave.
But are you happy with your lives right now?
Hell
Of
no.
where you're at.
Where I'm at, it could be better. I'm okay with where I'm at right now.
Okay.
I'm trying to, build a multimedia empire,
Okay.
little by little.
Empire.
Exactly. But yeah, taking care of family stuff,
Mhm.
trying to make some moves, literally trying to move. Come the end of this year, early.
What about a fraternity?
Shazam! That's what the noise makes when I stop. But no,
Make that
I'm just trying
lightning
to, take care of fam, take care of all my people, make sure everybody's good, make sure I'm eating good, make sure I'm not destitute. But yeah, trying to, cultivate my creativity anywhere I can, whether it's writing, whether it's drawing again, whether it's recording podcasts with my friends and stuff. But yeah, that's pretty much it. For the most part.
Verify your bonds, nigga.
Oh, you want to verify my bonds? It's right here. I don't care. Not a chemistry teacher, idiot.
What about you, Black Caesar?
Well, I'm gonna have to agree with Sid because I'm pleased. Things could be worse.
Mm-hmm.
I'd like to think that things are going on a roll in terms of like getting my talent out there. It's just not where it's not really at the highlight that I want it to be at the moment. But these are baby steps.
Mm-hmm.
That's all we're taking. So things could always improve, and I think they will in time. Just gotta, keep on the hustle. Basically take my mom's advice and just, keep doing what you're doing. Eventually you make enough noise, somebody will hear you.
Facts.
So
keep on pushing.
Don't truck.
So all in all, life is tolerable.
I like that. I like that.
I like that one.
I like that.
Thank you.
To piggyback on that, I do agree with you with the fact that, life is tolerable. And, waiting for that someone to really notice you type thing, because, like, throughout, like, college and all that stuff, I still remember when that asshole said something about my artwork. No. I'm not going there. I just said I remember that. But it helped me think that I have more than just that. That shows my art.
Sure.
Okay.
I have my writing. I have my direction of vision on how I could, like, how things can be, story-wise or, production-wise. Things that I didn't even know. Like, when you put me on that project, where like, what about, how many years ago was that?
Like
I don't know.
2 years.
Yeah. But when you put me on that, I didn't know what the hell I was doing, and it was something like minor. And then I was asked back again. I was asked back again, and then
they killed you twice.
Yeah. and then it was like it was something that I started to notice that I was like, I could be good at other things, and I had a bright idea for stuff like this, but I couldn't have this done without you guys. So and and but also, personally, things can be better with me. Relationship wise, things are growing, and also, like job wise, it could definitely be better. But that's why I'm working on certain side things to bounce off of that and grow into something bigger and better. But all in all, it is very tolerable. I mean, other than that, my life is pretty okay.
Yeah.
I got nothing majorly to complain about except my job. But other than that, I'm loving life because I'm alive and I'm breathing.
That's the best.
And that's about it.
Great. Very good.
I'd rather be dead as a doorknob. Okay. Wow. I don't.
That's how you really feel. Right?
Yeah. I don't know. I don't know. I feel really unaccomplished. I don't know about anybody else, but I feel unaccomplished. Yeah, I'm okay with the job. Not really okay with the job I have. I'm okay. I was okay with it last year. This year is a little bit rough. A little bit more rough than I thought it would be. And so I'm doing things to change that. That's the one thing I took my steps to start changing all that, because it was like there's certain things I'm just like, I got to do so much shit last year that I was so happy about, and to like really go to California for the first time. I got to go see Greg and those guys, and I Rhode Island Comic-Con. I got to do things that when I was working at Walmart, I couldn't do, because it was like so much of my time was just at Walmart, because they it's like prison.
Wally
World, because I'm in Walmart. So you have to say it like that, because I'm in Walmart.
Do we have to bleep that out?
No.
I don't give a shit.
I'm just saying, do we?
He don't work there no more.
I don't work there no more.
That's true. Okay. Never mind. I'm just saying, it would be really funny. It would be really funny if you just like put like just dubbed over there Walmart.
But it's like a fucking prison, really. And you can ask anybody that really works there that's not on the higher up chain. You can ask her.
But wait, no, she don't work there.
Ask Mari. Mari, I know you're watching. Yeah, you can tell your story too. So every time yeah.
He says slavery.
It is slavery. Modern day slavery. Yeah. So I don't. With this job right now, I'm trying to do things differently. I'm trying to have something better for my life. So, maybe with the job I'll be a little bit easier. Like the job if I get a better job, I'll probably be better.
Less stress. And
Yeah. Well, yeah.
More ducats, less stress.
But also too, I don't know. I feel like I feel like there's other stuff I want to do, and it feels like having hard time to actually accomplish it. And maybe it's because it's like maybe I'm in a rut. I'm not sure where I'm at in my head or in my life. Maybe I'm in a rut. Maybe I feel too much unaccomplished. Maybe I just need to do things that were more. Well, what I went to school for. Maybe I'm missing that. Maybe I'm missing that part of myself that I kind of locked away because I've been so distracted by other things. You know, like even like doing like streaming and stuff like that. Even doing this. Maybe I just want to do more of it. Maybe maybe that's my niche. You know, I do love technology. I do want to go there. You know, but hopefully I'll push forward and do that because that's one thing too. I don't like staying still no more.
Yeah,
Push forward.
Yeah.
So
keep active.
always moving forward.
Like and like we all of us, we always want to improve ourselves.
Surely.
We always want to be better than what we are.
That's true. Unless I win the lotto, then I've never changed.
Yo, for real.
I know.
Speaking about the lottery,
Don't talk to me about myself because I already know, bitch.
speaking about the lottery is actually the Mega Millions is 444 million, and the Powerball is 325 million. I am playing.
Man, I was playing when it was like $981 million. I was like, I lost, but you know, Obi lost, but you know, I did. Yeah. I tried at least. But I mean, but
you tried, Macy Gray. You tried.
So even with that question that you asked,
yes,
I know we're running out of time. Even with
yeah,
that
no,
question,
go ahead.
Where are we going? So that question can go with this as well. How you guys feel where we're going with this? We're going up. Are we going up? We're going. There's no other way to go but up.
I feel that from the bat, this was the biggest risky experiment to do because A, everyone's been doing it already for years. B, YouTube's been blasting shit like this for years
and monetizing. So
that's what I mean.
There's also
new things have been happening. But the thing is, you know, we can be on more things. Mm-hmm. You know, we can be on Apple. We can be on SoundCloud. We can be on all that stuff.
Sure. You know what I would like to do with this? I actually would like to go to one of the YouTube summits. It happens every year in New York.
I know.
And they're also about monetizations and how and stuff like that. Like, I really want to be at the YouTube summit.
Well, the thing is, YouTube Summit actually has people there to help you. Yeah. Like this one guy that I follow. His name is Roberto Blake. He's a big time YouTuber on there. But he also gives like demonstrations on how YouTube works, all its ins and outs, its algorithms, all that other stuff. You know, other life lessons too on how to help yourself and stuff like that.
I followed Bogey 2998.
I've seen some of that stuff.
He's a very good guy. I try to send a message on there, but yeah, he's a very good inspiration, even for people that want to for our obese and are losing weight and go through struggle with depression and everything like that. Like he really is like an inspiration because he's doing it. He's doing what he can, and he's a YouTube star to me. And you know what? And not for nothing, like Angry Joe, like on some real shit. Angry Joe's a really good guy too, despite sometimes his reviews are, you know, biased.
Robert Jefferson's another one.
Yeah, his reviews are a little biased. You know you are, Joe. But he, you know, but I mean, even if his reviews are a little biased, he has tons of information. And I like the fact that he's has a lot of information too. But he's also good about, you know, what YouTube does, monetization size, and all that stuff. So, those are people I listen to.
But yeah, we should definitely cons are gonna be a thing. Whether it's the YouTube convention, whether it's going to cons, even if it's meeting people on the street, The podcast was just.
It was the
fucking seed.
beginning.
It
It's
was
literally
seed.
the seed.
It's gonna grow to the tree, and then the next part of the tree, we're gonna get some branches. Could be all over.
But
the
just
fucking
like
place.
everything, it takes time.
For
Yeah.
sure.
And it takes time, hard work, and effort.
Patience.
Absolutely. It's
And
key.
we have to all do all of those things.
Yeah.
We have to have patience. We have to do, put in the time, put in the
Patience.
put in the time, put in the hard work, put in the effort, and have the patience to know that it's gonna go nowhere but up.
Yeah.
That's true. Now, before we start breaking off with the song, we should probably end tonight.
Nothing can stop me because I'm all the way up.
Quick thing though, since you just talked about
Break off in the
Save for
song?
next week.
no,
Save
Right.
it.
no,
Yeah.
nope, because it's gonna be a quick one. It really will be.
Oh, save it.
Nope. Most underrated R&B artists.
Black Caesar, go first.
All right, I'm gonna go with Janae. Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah. I had to go there, man. Come on. Hey, Mr. DJ, that was the shit.
It's true.
Ooh.
Yeah, man. That was the jam.
I got one, even though she came back. Indie Ari.
All right.
Very.
Right.
Indie Ari.
Okay. Respect that.
No.
Miguel.
My nigga.
He where did he go? Like, come on.
That's some
They
bullshit.
that people sleep on him so much.
That's because you know how it is, especially with an R&B star. You motherfucking get your first album, you're good. Sophomore album, you're on your own. You're on that much.
It's true.
You're like
It's
the fucking
true.
priest from fucking
Yeah.
Blazing Saddles.
What does that to say? Son, you're on your own.
I got one more too.
No. Go.
I got one more too. Even though he's been in a few things, Frank Ocean.
Oh, yeah.
Nova King's still one of my favorites. Baby.
So who you got?
Tevin Campbell.
Damn.
Oh,
He still got it.
He do
still-
though,
he
because
still-
of that
still
video.
got it. Yep, he still got it.
Yes, indeed.
So, yeah.
Neo. Not for nothing, he's very underrated. I'm sorry.
Is he that? He hasn't done anything in a while.
He's underrated. When you
Neo?
want to know why? Because Neo came out first.
Okay.
Neo's been writing songs way before.
Chris Brown is
Russ
bigger
Brown-
now.
but Chris
But he's
Brown.
been producing.
But Chris Brown's bigger, and
bigger asshole.
and therefore, Neo. The problem is when it comes to artists, R&B artists, they looked at Chris Brown as the shiny beacon that can be like Michael Jackson
He's a
versus
pretty
Neo.
nigga, that's what it is.
Versus
Let's-
versus
prettier,
Neo.
younger,
And mind
all
you,
that shit.
Neo. I'm not saying Chris
It's all
Brown.
about looks, though.
I'm not saying that Chris
Tattooed
Brown don't
Oscar.
write. But I'm not saying Chris Brown don't write. But I'm saying Neo writes, been writing songs for other artists, and he's his own artist. Like, let's be real about it. Like it's the dance moves. It's the
Yeah,
dance
exactly.
moves.
I was
It's
just
the
about to
dance
say.
moves, you know?
You already said it. Don't even say it. It's the dance. That's what it is.
It's
He's too much of a threat.
Yep. It's just like with what's his name with Usher, and then with what's his name from B2K.
Oh, Omarion.
Yep.
You know
It's just
what?
like those two.
Ooh. See, but I
Why
would.
Because look, you got.
See, I would have not. See, I wouldn't put Usher against
No.
Omarion. I'll put Usher against what's the name from Immature.
But when I say no. Only reason why I say Usher and Omarion, two age differences, two different like decades of things. That's the same. It's the same with even though they weren't too far apart with Neo and Chris Brown.
Yeah.
But that one right there is because if you see all of Usher's older stuff, and then you saw was it Let It Burn or something like when he's dancing in the rain.
Let
I
it
think
burn.
it was
Yeah.
Let It Burn. Yeah.
And then, but
Oh,
then,
you mean real life?
but then,
Shut up.
but then,
Let it burn right now.
then
Leave that nigga
you
alone.
see a video
Oh, shit.
almost exactly similar that Omarion did with not Touch. What's that other? Oh,
Icebox.
Icebox.
But it wasn't rain. Oh,
It wasn't
it-
rain.
It-
was
but
cold.
I
It was
said
cold.
similar,
So
similar.
it's career.
Yeah.
But when he did Touch, there was a rain thing on there. It was in there.
Surprisingly so, I went to that same street and I did the whole thing. And I was in LA. And there was because there's a gay club over in that same area, and I was like, because we were leaving right. 'Cause place goes around too.
Right.
And I was like, wait, is this the street? And I was like, yo, Adrian, Bailey, I'm doing dun touched. I was like, what's the like?
I saw a meme about that yesterday about the whole tornado that was going on with the rain, and it was funny. They was like, while everybody's hiding in their homes, Usher, this dude's out here being like Usher. Fucking, he's dancing in this big ass puddle and kicking the water. I'm like, you need to stop.
All right, so I have another R&B artist. Surprisingly so. I'll be sure.
Damn.
And beat me to it.
I thought he gave up the music business after a while. Okay. All right. Hey. He was a good singer. I can't doubt that.
Montel Jordan.
Ooh. Case.
Right.
I think Montel did it. I think Montel, because same thing with Neil. He was a producer hat. So he was wearing the producer hat for so long. He said, "Shit, I could just write an album, boom, make it a hit, call it a day."
Sure.
I think it was like on a Dare type shit, and he did it. That was it.
Wait, I take that back.
Who originated that shit? Babyface.
I take that back. Case career sank because he beat up Mary J. Blige.
Case, I thought you said Case's career tanked. I was like, that's another R&B artist.
Tank, yeah.
So you tell me Case called a Case.
Yeah. You know what Case tank? You know what's the reason why Tank Tank careers sank, right? you sank my shit. You know why? You know why it's scared Tank? Because remember he went on. Remember those dudes that were on Hot 97 before? They used to like get into
Oh yeah, they used to mess with people all the time. Yeah.
And then they were like, they did Tank, and then they were saying like Tank is gay and shit. Like he's like, I'm gay, man. I don't know. And then he got into a fight with them on the studio, and then it was just. I think from there it's just same, bro.
Wow. Monica.
Oh yeah.
Then we gotta say Brandy too because her
You're
career
right.
sank
No,
too.
you're right. You're right. Yeah.
That's what happens when you run over people with your vehicle.
Oh.
Hey, if she took a head, maybe she probably would have committed manslaughter, vehicular manslaughter. Charges is different.
What about you?
Yeah.
Oh, I already said my people.
That's it.
That's it.
D'Angelo.
Drugs.
Fuck. Okay. Never mind. Cut that shit out.
but honestly, like we can say that, but honestly, he did. He messed up his career, and then when he came back out, nobody was hearing it. Also, too, less than even though
Carl Thomas.
Yeah, even though
he took forever to come back, and he came back, and nobody gave a shit.
It's true.
Kelly Price.
Yeah.
Shit. How about Mark Morrison?
Yeah.
Mr. Number One hit, only to end up being in the fucking slammer right after, man.
Yeah. I've been waiting for a return of the Mac since my computer had to go in for motherfucking repair.
They still play that shit.
Of course.
And let's be real about
Every
it.
club
Like,
you go.
let's be real about it. A lot of these artists that we're mentioning may come out with a song, albums and stuff like that. They never get played on fucking radio because R&B is dead.
Correct. R&B is dead, just like 2D animation's dead, just like freaking
hip hop.
1080 is dead because 4K.
Just like hip hop is dead.
You said hip hop is dead?
Yeah, absolutely.
How you figure?
It's all pop now.
It's
all pop.
It's
all mumble rap and
exactly.
bullshit like that.
Nothing's original. Not even the fucking beats. It's like they don't even dig in the crates any goddamn more and get like the real soulful sounds in there, man. It's ridiculous.
And whenever they do come out with it, you gotta wait fucking like 5 years for it.
It's ridiculous.
But on that note, since we know that everything is dead, we gotta go.
Perfect.
We killing ourselves right now. Right now, we're pulling the plug. Literally. Hold on.
Thank you for joining us today. Make sure you hit the like button and subscribe and comment, please. We like those. And share.
Tune in tomorrow for when you see Here Roundhouse on Twitch. Come fight me. Maybe you'll win. Maybe you'll lose. I don't know. We'll see what happens.
Beat his ass.
In the words of Anakin Skywalker, you will try.
Oh, this nigga. Hate him so much.
Motherfucker. Also, I'll give reaction to the Death Stranding trailer that just came out today. I haven't seen it yet, but
I haven't either.
looks like it's gonna be cool.
Also,
Anyway.
I'm seeing Godzilla this weekend.
Okay.
Sometime.
Well,
You let us know if this came.
well, you're in charge of the Instagram. Put that up.
Yeah, I'm seeing it.
So yeah, you heard it here, folks. Another fantastical show brought to you by the True Story Bros. I'm one of your boys, Sir Wednesday, Rizzy Sendu. To my right.
I am here, Roundhouse. I'll see you next time.
That was the quickest money you ever done.
Right? No, I've seen quicker. I'm Echo Ninja. To you, brother.
And I am Black Caesar, and like the Master Fouché, I don't care.
I don't care.
I don't care.
Yeah, we don't.
And on that, we'll see you later.
Deuces.
You face that everywhere, but what it is.